I don't know why is it so easy. And when I mean so easy, I'm not saying that it isn't easy in other community, but for whatever reason, Ponzi schemers seem to have a very easy time collecting money from the Haitian community. This woman, her name is Alexandra Robert. She's only 23. I mean, come to think of it, a child basically. She's very young. She had managed to collect nearly $1 million from 80 investors, most of them Haitian American, people who probably are working two, three jobs to make ends meet, somehow find money to give to this woman. He promised them a 48% return on their money. And certainly she did not invest the money. It was a Ponzi scheme. Now, she's not the first person that have done that. There've been so many other Haitian American in Florida, in New York, upstate New York, in Spring Valley, and Illinois, who actually got arrested for running Ponzi scheme. Now, I want to tell the Haitian community something, okay? And I'm speaking to the Haitian diaspora, all right? If it sounds too good to be true, it actually not true. And let me explain that. It's not easy to make money in investing. In other words, making money, when you invest money, to make money, you have to have discipline, you have to take time, you have to know what you're doing. When somebody comes to you and promise you, 50% return, 5% weekly return, whatever that they promise you, if it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true because it doesn't work that way. Okay. No one just wake up and decide it and make money. It takes time. And usually when somebody comes and offer you that type of return, you have to ask yourself this question: how is it possible? Because if it was that possible, everybody would have become a millionaire. Everybody would have made a lot of money. I would have made a lot of money. Everybody would have made it. So obviously, the problem is when someone comes to you and offer you a deal, ask them how much money that they're worth. Obviously, if they know how to do it and they want to help you do it, so the first thing is they would have helped themselves because that's usually how people do it. You help yourself first, and then you help others. So how was it possible? And I'm not suggesting that Ponzi scheme exists only in the Asian community. That's not what I'm suggesting. I mean, there have been tons of people who have been arrested in Ponzi scheme. I mean, some of them are not Haitian, some of them are Italian, some of them are white, they're Jewish, they're all kind of people. But I'm saying that the Haitian community is a specific community. And the people who are running the Ponzi scheme are not other group of people. They're not white, they're not Hispanic, they're not African American. They are Haitian American just like us, who speak the language, who speak Creole, and we trust them because we think because they are Haitian, they have our best interests at heart. That's not true. And I'm here to tell you that it is time that you stop giving your hard-earned dollars to schemers. A lot of people, a lot of you have worked very hard. I grew up in the Haitian community in New York and Brooklyn. And I know people who have worked two, three jobs as a nurse, taxi drivers. They work really, really hard trying to educate their children, put a roof over their head, maybe buy a house. And all of a sudden that the money they work so hard for, somebody comes up to them and say, hey, listen, I could triple and quadruple, I could make you a millionaire. And without asking any questions, you turn all that money to the person and you end up losing everything. So it is a sad state of affairs because the Haitian community is a good community. And I am begging you guys, please be smart about your money. Because if it was that easy, everyone would have done it. Now, I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't consider any investment at all. But come to think of it, historically, if you look at investment, there are very, very few investments that return 25 to 29% yearly. So anytime somebody comes to you, they say, oh yeah, we got this cryptocurrency here, we got this there, we got this here, we're gonna make you a millionaire, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. It's all lies. All they're trying to do is take your money, and then basically you probably would never see that money again. Because in the case of this woman, Alexandra Robert, what did she use the $1 million for? She used it to buy herself clothes. She used it to buy herself an apartment. She used it to buy herself cars, things that she couldn't afford herself. So she basically convinced a whole bunch of Haitians to give her that money, 80 Haitian to give her nearly $1 million, thinking that she was going to make them rich. That didn't happen. And I can almost guarantee you, those 80 investors in Florida, they lost their money, close to $1 million. Certainly, this is not a big case. It's not $250 million, but it is an extra $1 million that came out of the Haitian community. So, if you want to listen to my advice, please do. Before you invest money with anyone, there are a number of questions you have to ask. You have to know who the person is. You have to know how they manage their own money. Because if they can't manage their own money, then I can almost guarantee you that they can't manage your money. Okay? What are their credit score? Do they have good credit? You know, have they done this before? How long they've been doing it? Do they have a record of doing it? Do they have a prospectus? Okay? How are they going to invest the money? What kind of return? You know, you have to ask questions. You can't just give people money. I don't care if it's your pastor at your church or your doctor or whoever tells you to do it. You ask them those questions. And I can almost guarantee you they will not be able to answer this question. You know why? Because it's a Ponzi scheme. That's the reason why. It's a Ponzi scheme. They're never going to be able to answer this question. And they're not going to be able to give you a prospectus. You know why they're not going to be able to prospectus? Because they would have to sit down and know what they're doing and write it and basically give you some document that shows where the money is going to be invested and how much of a return, what is it that they're going to buy, how much they're planning on buying it, and what they're going to get in it. So this is not the first time. And in the last 5 years, I have seen a number of Ponzi schemers in the Haitian community. A lot of them in Florida, at least 3 I know of Florida, 1 in New York, and certainly the Mini FX, this case is ongoing right now. So we don't know yet whether it is a Ponzi scheme, but the government say it is, and we'll have to wait and find out if that's true. But I want you to be careful because I know how hard you work for your money. So do share this link with your friends and family, and keep watching for my next video on just not the mini FX, but also on Ponzi schemers that are taking advantage of the Haitian. Thank you for watching.